Every day, millions of people around the world buy affordable clothing from their favorite brands. The appeal of trendy, inexpensive fashion is hard to avoid. But behind the low prices and the rapid turnover of styles lies the serious issue of environmental degradation and the monopolization of clothing resulting from this culture of fast fashion. Fast fashion is a term that embodies the mass production of inexpensive, trendy clothes that cater to ever-changing consumer desires. It emerged in the late 20th century, reshaping the way people buy clothing. Popular brands like Zara, H&M, and Forever 21 pioneered the concept of quick, affordable, and disposable fashion.
The traditional fashion cycle used to revolve around two main seasons, spring and summer and fall and winter. Fast fashion brands changed this by introducing up to 52 micro-seasons a year or a new collection every week, encouraging consumers to buy more frequently.
This model feeds on a cycle of continuous consumption where new styles are quickly produced and sold at low prices, encouraging shoppers to buy more and more. So why is purchasing more clothing a bad idea? There should be no problem if businesses produce clothing and consumers purchase and wear it, right? Let's find out how much the general public is aware of the consequences of fast fashion. How often do you buy new clothing?
I would say I buy new clothing from like H&M, Shein, and Forever 21, maybe like every other week. But I buy clothes online more often because it can just be shipped to my house.
Do you think that buying all these clothes harms the environment in any way?
I mean, not really. Like I donate all my clothes after I buy them, so like that kind of mitigates the effects, I guess. And I know that having clothes shipped to my house releases CO2 or whatever, but like there's already so much CO2 being emitted by other cars, so does it really make a difference?
Sure. Do you know what fast fashion refers to?
No.
It's the rapid production of low-quality clothes.
OMG, 50% off all summer shirts at H&M?
Wait, what? Donating clothes so they can be reused may seem to mitigate the harmful effects of participating in fast fashion, but in reality, reducing consumption is much more important than reusing or recycling items. Every time an item is made, the production and disposal of the item contribute to air, water, and soil pollution. If fewer items are produced in the first place, there is no need for reusing or recycling said items. It is crucial that the public understands this because the purchase of fast fashion items support the production of cheap, short-living clothing and contributes to this global problem. The convenience of fast fashion comes at a significant environmental cost. The industry is one of the largest polluters in the world, second only to oil. The industry is currently responsible for more annual carbon emissions than all international flights and maritime shipping combined.
Fast fashion has a much larger impact on our planet than people realize. Extensive water usage is required for the production of materials such as cotton and rayon. For example, it takes approximately 3,000 liters of water to produce just one cotton shirt. The excessive use of water can lead to groundwater depletion and falling groundwater tables. Groundwater depletion occurs when the rate of groundwater extraction through wells is higher than the rate of replenishment from precipitation. Additionally, textile dyeing requires toxic chemicals that subsequently end up in our oceans. In many cases, this water cannot be treated to become safe again. Plastic microfibers also end up in the ocean due to synthetic materials used in clothing. Plastic takes a long time to degrade, which leads to it entering the human food chain through aquatic life. Without a doubt, this industry must change for the better if you want to preserve our planet.
Moreover, the culture of disposability leads to an enormous amount of textile waste. In the United States alone, an estimated 85% of textiles end up in landfills each year. These clothes take hundreds of years to decompose, releasing methane, a greenhouse gas 28 times more potent than carbon dioxide. Greenhouse gases are the primary cause of global warming and ongoing crisis for our world. Dunes of clothing can be found deep in the Atacama Desert in Chile. It can be said that this desert is where fast fashion goes to die. This part of the Atacama Desert is a perfect display of the problem with fast fashion. Unsold clothes from around the world are dumped in this part of the desert to be burned, buried, or trucked away. Every one of these disposal methods has detrimental environmental impacts. The burning of these clothes releases pollutants into the air and contributes to the greenhouse effect. If these clothes are buried, toxins from the clothes are released into underground water channels. Until people stop supporting fast fashion industries by constantly buying new clothes from them, these toxic dunes of clothes will continue to grow in Chile and other places around the world. The dominance of fast fashion also threatens the survival of small, independent clothing businesses. These businesses often struggle to compete with the low prices and high turnover of fast fashion brands.
Fast fashion has made it incredibly difficult for us to survive. We can't match the prices of large corporations that produce massive quantities at low cost. Our focus is on quality, sustainable practices, and unique designs but it's hard to compete when consumers are drawn to cheap, trendy items.
We source our materials ethically and ensure fair wages for our workers. It's about creating something that lasts both in terms of quality and impact. When you buy from a small business, you're supporting local economies and helping to promote sustainability. Supporting small businesses not only helps local economies, but also promotes a more sustainable fashion industry. Each purchase from a small business is a vote for better practices and a healthier planet.
Despite these challenges, there is hope for change. The rise of sustainable fashion brands and consumer awareness is paving the way for a more ethical and environmentally friendly industry.
We're seeing a shift towards using organic materials, adopting fair trade practices, and innovating with recycling technologies. Consumers are starting to ask more questions and demand transparency from brands.
Do you think people realize the impact they can have on this industry?
No, and I think it's something that needs to be talked about more. These industries rely on consumers like us to buy their products. If we collectively agree to stop buying from these unsustainable brands, it would force them to change or shut them down. The consumers are the ones in control. The people have more power than they realize. If we want to move towards a more sustainable fashion industry and stop fast fashion, we need to change our buying habits and be more mindful of the impact of our purchases.
Additionally, secondhand shopping, clothing swaps, and rental services are gaining popularity as more people seek to reduce their environmental footprint. By choosing quality over quantity, consumers can make a significant impact. Every purchase is a vote. When we choose sustainable options, we are voting for a future that values the planet and the people who inhabit it.